sure that this is healthy and good to go, and then make sure to actually like keep an eye on it and everything, because cool. Yeah, I just had one of those times where I had like 10 minutes where I was actually playing, and I had made sure to like, you know, check that I was actually alive and everything and so on and so forth, and then it went for about 4 or 5 minutes, actually less than that, and decided to stop actually broadcasting. So I really got almost no indication that it actually stopped, and even when it does, the only indication I have is that the chat box where it does it in the grayed out text, so it's not like somebody's actually chatting. So I did Sunset Rock, I think that's what it's called, and then came to find out that it wasn't streaming. And I think I did that on the last stream anyway, so I don't know if I really missed anything. I just missed a lot of me talking, so excuse me. So without rambling on any further, this is the fourth track in Snowboard Kids 1. This is Night Highway, and this is the first time I've raced it, so let's see how we do. And oh, didn't know that was coming. Awesome. So an important thing that was pointed out to me after I did my last video by my friend Mike, not Honest Gamer Mike, Mega Daffy. He said that the reason that I was running into item boxes and getting, this is a jump, and bouncing off of them is because the items cost money, and I had never noticed down in the corner that my amount of money that I had was decreasing when I ran into an item box like that. So I never noticed that, and I just assumed that you had to do something special. And so like if I hit another one, it's just gonna bounce me right off it. It doesn't matter what I do. Yeah, something I was doing for the entirety of my first stream, and great. Never realized, but now I do. Oh, thanks, awesome. This brings me on to a point that really my main complaint about this. Ooh, look at that guy. This guy just gives you a bunch of money. It's pretty awesome. That's the whole purpose of that item. Oh fuck! I turned too hard. So I had gotten a decent ways into the last game before I actually started saying this, but you know, considering that it just happened that way right now, I figure I'll talk about it right now. When I made my little Instagram post, like I do with all the games I play, and you know, especially to keep people up on the whole N64 quest thing that I'm doing. I basically drove home the fact that oh, fuck you. That's actually a really annoying thing that this game does too, but I don't really talk about that at length. This game, I love the control, the sense of control in this game. It's really good. The tracks are cool. Characters aren't bad. They're not particularly interesting, but characters aren't terrible. But what this game does, and it really knocks it down a few pegs, is it does what a lot of bad kart racers do, what a lot of like shovelware level kart racers do, which is they look at the successful ones, they look at Mario Kart, they look at Diddy Kong, so on and so forth, and they go, okay, items. This game has items. Let's put items in. And they don't balance it properly. They say, oh fuck. That's like, that one's on me, obviously. They go, oh, this game has items for other people to use on them to, you know, add on to the fact that it's also a driving game. The driving is simple, and the items add another different level of complexity. Fucking awesome. Thanks. So they take that, they come up with some items, they make a racing game that may or may not work otherwise, and they don't balance it. So it becomes just a big old messy clusterfuck of a racing game. that doesn't actually take a lot of skill, and that's kind of what Snowboard Kids does, unfortunately, because it's got way too many items that are way too strong, and you can use them literally all the time because they're everywhere. These would have to be nerfed. At least, I think it would be nerfed the best by just, like, having them not be as common and having to be just a lot less frequent, because then you could spend most of the game focusing on the skill aspect of it. And I think that would be the best way to go. But as it is right now, you run into an item box all the time, and even though they cost money, you always have money. It's not like it's hard to gain money, because there's coins everywhere, and you're constantly, great. You're constantly doing tricks to get even more coins. Fucking... So, you know, once you get a little bit of ways into the race, money's pretty much a non-issue. And all of the items in this game, just about all of them, are just too good to use as often as you can use them. There's like 3 or 4 projectile items. Oh, that was stupid. There's 3 or 4 projectile items, and they're all fairly similar. But most of them home in on the enemy, and there's 3 of them. You get 3 of them every time you get an item box. There's this one, the glove one, which just kind of like punches them and knocks you on your ass. There's the parachute one, which I got hit with right now, and I've been getting hit with the whole race. And it really, really pisses you off because you just gotta wait for yourself to fall back to the ground and keep going. Son of a bitch! Really? Great. And then, you know, if you're doing it on Night Highway like that, then you know, you usually fall off. You have the icicle one, which freezes you. You have these pans, which are not even projectiles. They just whack everybody on the head and make them all fall. And you have the snowman one, which also freezes, or not, doesn't freeze you, but it kind of like keeps you from being able to turn until you go off the cliff, apparently. So yeah, really, all that together, that's just one type of item. There's 4 different ones. There's the cat one that gives you money, which is pretty great, because it's not OP, basically. Yeah, fuck you, you get a parachute. There's the rock, which is like the banana peel, but they're too small, so you can't fucking see them. You got the fan, which is good, because the fan is the only one that helps you and doesn't hurt your opponents. That and the thing that turns you invisible, that only turns you invisible for like 5 seconds, so even that's a little bit useless. You have to really time it, and you can only do it if you know that something's coming up on you. All that together makes this way too much of an item-focused game. For a game that really does have a lot going for it, with the controls, the course design, everything about it is really, really good. And it really gets hampered by that. Especially, I want to say especially when you're playing against the computers, but I'm not sure if it would be worse or better if you're playing against other human players. But I think it might hurt a little bit more to get constantly, like, you know, knocked on your ass over and over and over again by people that you can't fight with or anything. So when I was saying I made that Instagram post saying I was doing this, and basically what I said is there's a common complaint that you may or may not hear yourself, but a complaint about Mario Kart is people who say it's cheap, or that it's based all on luck, or so on, something like that. And yes, this is a course based, you're snowboarding on grass, so this is all grass, and this is a thing I'd heard about, and this is my first time racing on it, and this is fucking awesome, actually. This is a cool ass course. Keep fucking up the jumps. Oh, and there's the bombs. I totally forgot about the bombs, which you can really fuck up, because there's splash damage. So you can set it off too close to you, or shoot at someone who's too not far away enough from you, and you get taken down too because you're an idiot, like I am. I do that several times. But yeah, people say Mario Kart is cheap or it's based on luck because of the items thing. And I would say anybody who's ever made that complaint, if you've heard somebody make that complaint, have that person play this game. I don't know about the second one. I don't know if they made it that much better, if they nerf things properly. But have them play this against 3 computers, and hopefully, I imagine that would shut them right up. Because the items in this game are the things that can really ruin the race for you. Especially problematic because, like I said, the sensor control is really simple, but it works really well. You don't have to accelerate, you don't have to do anything like that, you just have to use the control stick, and that's why that's all I'm doing, is using the control stick, using the, kind of like dig back on it while you're turning, and you do a tighter turn. It's really cool. But you can be having like a really good race, not messing up, not doing anything wrong, hitting your jumps and everything, but your opponents, it's not that they can fuck you up just at the wrong moment, it's that they'll fuck you up constantly. That's what really bugs me about it, and I think, like I said, the #1 thing I would want to do with this game is just make there be less of the items. Even if you wanted to keep all the items exactly the same, just have there not be nearly as many of them. That's the frequency is the problem. I had a sequence on the stream I tried to do before where I got hit by 3. I'm pretty sure it was 3 in a row. Fuck you, buddy. This is also a little bit of a problem. I don't know if they did this on purpose because they thought it was like a little skill thing or a little like, oh, you get a chance to get back in the race or some shit. But I like the thing where you get on the ski lift and it takes you back to the top and that's a lap. I don't like the little jockeying for position thing if it's really close, because you can knock people out of the way, or you can catch a lucky break on the timing of getting up to the thing and get on there first. That's kind of shitty. I would hate to win a race. Well, you wouldn't. The thing is, you wouldn't win a race on it because you'd still have to go up and do another lap. Oh, that's such bullshit. That's the second time in a row I did that. Made a trick off that little slope right there, and they didn't consider it to be a pulled-off trick. Speaking of which, I haven't done anybody's special trick, unfortunately. They're little button inputs with A. The rock is basically the banana peel. I know I said this. I don't remember if I said it on the stream that failed to actually stream, or if I said it on this one. The rock is a reasonable. If you smell who the rock is tripping, it's the banana peel of this game, but you can't fucking see it, which is also really shitty because you're going so fast. It makes it more effective. It makes it almost too effective. Like banana peels in Mario Kart, I never thought I'd say I missed the design of the Mario Kart banana peel until I played this game, and I was like, man, the banana peel is exactly right, because you only give it to the people who are ahead of everybody, and it's not like it's going to increase their lead unless they're playing against somebody really shitty or they're really, really good at using it. The rock in this fucking game comes up so fast, and it's so small, and basically it's incredibly difficult to notice all around because of the color, the placement usually, the size of it. You don't even see it, and that's kind of shitty, because like, it really is based on luck, because it can be anywhere in the course basically, and it's very easy to miss it by accident. It's also very easy to hit it by accident. It's entirely up to the kind of the luck of how. I mean, I know that the person who laid it down more than likely has an idea where to place it, because of where people most commonly come up on that particular section of track. Oh, the pans are my favorite fucking item because it's 3 pans that fall from the sky and whack everybody else in the race on the head, regardless of their position. I think it's a little bit too much. It's funny, at almost no point in this game do you really realize what your place is up until the very end, because, you know, this can happen. Somebody can get the pan, and all of a sudden they go from second, fourth to second, and then 3 seconds later, oh, we're all just bunched up again. I figured somebody was gonna pass me right there. Let me see the little thing on the side. Ooh, look at the fan. The fan's also good. The fan and the pan. Fucking whacked on the head by the pan. The fan is good though because it's the item in this game that doesn't hurt anybody. It only helps you, and that's also like what a good item really can be. Like an item that you can really use to your advantage. So I'm at having a bit of an issue right here with my item because my only item is the bomb. There we go. That'll be. Oh, thank you. Awesome. That was actually. I don't wanna say it's because it helped me win the race, but like I had an issue there. I couldn't use the bomb because it fucked me up. It probably sent me back to 3rd/4th with the person I hit with it. I had to wait until I got another item. That's the only time in this game. Like the bomb has a legitimate nerf to it because you can't use it to somebody too close to you. Most of the other items in this game really don't have that. Case in point, the fucking pan, which is the cheapest item in the game for sure. You just get a free hit on everybody else in the race. And from what I can tell, the items don't come about randomly. I think what actually happens is the items are in specific boxes, placed at different spots on the course. I think you always get the same item from the same box. I could be wrong about that, but that's what it felt like to me. I've tried to. I forget exactly where it was. I think it was on the second course, the big snowman. And I swear to God, I would always get the pans at the same spot after a jump going around the corner. I'm pretty sure I always got the pans like that at that particular spot. I could be wrong. It could just be luck. But I think that's also the way they designed it, which is also really, you know, it's not. It doesn't even have the Mario Kart thing where you give better items to the people who need them.
Ready?
It's a shame.
Go!
Fucked up that start. It's alright. Does not matter at all.
Not enough.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's no way that they said that. That little voice that says not enough. Did they really say that? I did not hear it at all the first time I was playing this. I just wasn't paying enough attention. There we go, there's some money for me. Dollar pans, yo. Of course there's pans. Just whip by everybody now. I think the only positive aspect of the way that the pans are designed is that it only helps the. This could be a positive or a negative. It only helps the player who uses the pans, because everybody else gets hit and therefore spends the same amount of time on their ass. So basically, what it does is it sends one player ahead of everybody else, or able to get very easily caught up. The rest of them, I did not see that coming up. The rest of them are now kind of like, you know, basically fucking have to fight amongst themselves for the remaining positions. Well, well, it's tough to try to verbalize it. Like, everybody else in relation to each other, besides the person who threw the pan, is exactly where they were before. Which is a little bit weird, I think. I do think it's weird. And that's why I said, like, you could think of it as an advantage or disadvantage to the way that item's designed. I think you definitely get two different schools of thought on it for sure. I want fucking water. This is actually kind of cool too. I like this. I really have enjoyed the course design in this game. That's probably, it's almost certainly my favorite part about it. Hey, I actually pulled that one off. It's really a shame that it has some things about it that really hurt it that much, because I really love the course design. I really love the controls. It plays beautifully. I really highly recommend playing this game with some friends, probably. I don't think it's going to have a Mario Party effect. I think it's actually, I don't know. I can't say for sure. I always wonder that when I play these games, like, against the computer, and I'm like, would this be a good multiplayer game? Would it actually work as a multiplayer game? The way it's designed? Or would it end up being, like, you know, one where you're at each other's throats? Or would it end up being a little bit too imbalanced? I always wonder that with these kinds of games. That's something I'd really like to hear about is people who played this with other people. Excuse me, how it compares to Mario Kart and stuff. Because that's another thing that I always talk about is it's not just Mario Kart, it's not just GoldenEye. There's other games, there's other how do I put this? There are other multiplayer oriented games, there are other great multiplayer games, and I always wonder you know, if there are people who have actually played them, or if they just went back to GoldenEye. It's always such a shame to think of it that way, that there are some really good multiplayer games out there that maybe you played by yourself because you had the time for it, but when your friends come over, it's always Mario Party, Mario Kart, GoldenEye. It's always that. So I always wonder about stuff like that. I don't know if there are that many people playing this game with their friends right now, because it's not any of those couple games. I want to say, when was the time that I really brought this up? Oh, Extreme G. I brought this up with Extreme G. Because with all the good racing games there are on the N64. But how many people actually play them with their friends with the quality of multiplayer there might be in there? I always wonder about that. Yeah. But we're nearing the end. We're on the last lap of this it's called Disneyland, I think. A weird amusement park course. And I'm in a consistent 4th place, but I feel like I can probably turn that around if I get the items I need. If I can actually catch up a little bit to the people who are just ahead of me. Hey, that helps. The thing that's really shitty, this is also where I have to bring up the fact that the pan can be really shitty, because it can fuck you up if you were in the back, and also that's my fault for misusing the fan, not being able to control myself. Pans and fans, both of them in this game. Should advertise it that way. Fans! There we go. I want to say that the pans are the blue shell of this game, but they're really not, because the blue shell mostly only affects the person in front. This just affects everybody equally, and just is a weird sort of imbalance to me. Sometimes you get a rock and it's not just a boulder. It's a rock! And you just kind of throw it on the ground. It's not my dad. It's a cell phone. I think I'm stupid. God. Oh my god, I went for the fucking trick at the last second. Oh, that's bullshit. I came in last in this one because of that last fucking thing. That was stupid. Yeah, I had, like, that was the weird thing. Like, I had no indication this entire race of, like, where I was actually going to come up. I was in 4th for a good chunk of it, and I kind of caught up, and I fucked myself a little bit. So most of that was on me, but, you know, the majority of these races don't turn out that way. But yeah, that's the rest of the courses in Snowboard Kids 1, and like I said, not a single one of them is underwhelming or you know, not fun to play. I really do enjoy all of these. The characters are a little bit less interesting. They don't really matter all that much, but you know, when you get into some games that really the ability to customize every single thing, and really you get enthusiastic and you get interested in everything about them. This isn't one of those games, but the course design is really above and beyond everything else. I really enjoy that. That'll be it for Snowboard Kids. Just really the fight at this point is to I'm looking up what the next game is. I think I know what it is. But the fight at this point is just to make sure I can get... You know, I'd really like to at least get silver. I think getting silver in all of them would be enough, because it can be hard enough just to do that. But yeah, it's also it's a little bit of a shame because there's only 6 courses. As good as they are, there's not that much to do.